Hello. I just finished reading a book last night and I am so excited about it. I really want other people to read it. So the book I want to talk about first of all is called Unnecessary Drama by Nina Kenwood. Now, the story behind me buying this book, we were on our way home from out of town last weekend and we decided to sort of like have a relaxing day and, you know, not go straight home. We would stop at, you know, a couple of different towns. And, you know, as usual, Andrew browsed all the secondhand bookstores and the op shops and things like that. But I couldn't find anything that I wanted to read. I also didn't know what I was in the mood to read either. I just really wanted something to read. I just didn't know what. I have books on my TBR, but I didn't really want to read any of them. So I convinced Andrew to take me to the new bookstore. And we were just browsing and Andrew found this for me. He was looking in, he basically said that he was just trying to find books that are this size because I struggle, I think I've mentioned this before, but I struggle with regular sized paperback sometimes because the font is pretty small. Not just the font that I have issues with, it's more the spacing between the text. So he was kind of looking at this. So in Australia, you get, when there's a new release, we don't get hardcovers. We really rarely get hardcovers, but we get like a bigger sized paperback, sort of like the same size as what a hardcover would be. And then after a year or something, you would get the smaller paperback edition. So he was looking for this sized books, and he found this for me, and I didn't know what it was about, but he read the synopsis for me because I can't read white text on this blue background, and it sounded really cool. So I picked it up, and when I went to the counter, the girl behind the counter was like, oh, I read this and I really enjoyed it. It's like really lighthearted and really cute. And I was like, okay, cool. So I got really excited. And yeah, it's Friday now. I bought this book on last Friday or Saturday, and it took me a whole week, less than a week I guess, to read it. It's so cute. So let me tell you what it's about. It is a rom-com kind of book. It's about this girl named Brooke. She moves to Melbourne to study for her university, and she moves into this share house. So there's her and two other roommates living there. She hasn't really met any of the roommates yet. She gets there a little bit early, and she meets one of them who kind of is the one that not owns the house, but her grandma owns this house and is letting her have two other roommates. So she's met that one, but the male character that is supposed to be her other roommate hasn't shown up yet. So then in the first chapter, he shows up, and it turns out that his name is Jesse, and he is her high school nemesis, I guess. I use the term nemesis very lightly because it is an enemies to lovers, but basically what happened is they had a falling out in high school, and that's why she hates him. And yeah, that's basically the synopsis. I don't want to say any more. Sorry if this is kind of rambly because I just finished it last night, and I'm really excited about this. So what I really liked about this book is, the first thing is kind of a bias thing, but this book is set in Australia, which I never read YA rom-com romance chick lit books set in Australia. I've never seen it before. if you know of any out there, you know, kind of like this, kind of like Christina Lauren, kind of like Sophie Kinsella, but like set in Australia, let me know, because yeah, I don't know, I don't like, I think I'm just biased because I live in Australia, and so a lot of the things that she mentions in this book I really understand, and it's just fun sometimes. Like, I've always been the type to like not really care if I don't relate to a character or where they live that much, but it's just nice when I do, you know. The second thing that I really like about this book is the character of Brooke. I thought that she was so realistic. I love the way the author wrote her. She's just a regular kind of girl. I don't know how to explain that, but whenever I read, I know it always sounds like when I'm reviewing, I'm comparing it to other books, but I'm trying to give examples. So if you read a lot of romance, if you read a lot of rom-com-y romance, specifically like that, like women's fiction, chick lit kind of romances, you get these stereotypes of main characters. They're either like the Bridget Jones type characters, or they are the like stoic, career driven kind of woman. And this one is slightly more on the Bridget Jones side, but not exaggerated. Like, she just felt like a regular 18-year-old girl living in Melbourne. She feels like my sister. She feels like myself when I was that age. Like, yeah, I don't know how to explain it, but it's like the way Nina Kenwood wrote the characters in this are so realistic, and I don't see that a lot. Yeah, like she has certain stereotypes, but it's not over the top and exaggerated, which I really appreciated. So reading her was just really nice. The other thing that I really enjoyed about this book is definitely the romance. The romance sort of coincides with her character growth. Without going too much into it, I really liked the way the romance was done. I thought it was very sweet, very soft and slow and subtle, and yeah. I don't know what I know this is I know this is a rambly, gushy kind of video, but I really want you to read it. If you are really into romances, this is a really good one. The other thing, I just remembered this. The other thing that I really like, without spoiling too much, when I say that I really like the character of Brooke, one thing that I really liked about her was that she is a character who has a little bit of anxiety. She gets very panicked very easily. She gets very stressed very easily, and she is the type of character that likes to plan a lot, but she fumbles a lot. But what I really like about the author writing her is that it feels very realistic. Like, her anxiety feels very realistic. It's not the super strong, like, what do they call, I don't know how to explain it, but like, it's not the super strong, like, can't get out of the house kind of anxiety, which is fine if you want to write that, but this one felt relatable to me, because it is just that like high functioning kind of anxiety where you have so many thoughts inside your head as you're doing something, and you're trying to figure out how to like act on it without letting the thoughts sort of get to you, I guess. Like it's that kind of anxiety, which I really, really like, and I don't see that very much in YA, especially because the ones that I have seen are more on the extreme side, which is, you know, which is also a good thing to have in books, but it's just, it's nice to have this this kind of mild, high functioning kind of anxiety being written about as well. I also really like the character of Jesse. He is so sweet. He's so sweet, and he sort of like, he understands her boundaries. He understands her, like, that he needs to be more cautious and careful with her, and that's to do with the drama that they had in the past, but it's also to do with him and his character and his personality and what he's gone through as well, which I thought was really, really good. That's all I have to say. I really, really want more people to read this, especially if you live in Australia. If you live in Melbourne, I don't live in Melbourne, but my sister does, so I go to Melbourne a lot, and it's just nice. I also really like that even though it's set in Melbourne, she doesn't like name drop everything. Like everything is still sort of anonymous enough that you just need to picture a big city. You don't need to know that the supermarket she's talking about is probably Woolies, or that or I don't know, see what I mean? Like it's very vague. Or like the bars that she's talking about, like she doesn't make it too specific to Melbourne, but she does make it specific enough to Australia, if that makes sense. But I don't think that's like a conscious thing. I think that's more of a, the author is Australian and she writes what she knows kind of thing, which I really like. So yeah, Unnecessary Drama by Nina Kenwood. I hope I said everything that needs to be said about this book to try and convince you. Let me know if you've read it. Let me know your thoughts down below, and if you have any recommendations of like similar books like this, let me know that as well. And yeah, have a good day.